So what we're going to be talking about is how to attract more leads, because that, of course, is going to be what builds your business. Now, honestly, I just attended Chalene Johnson's Marketing Impact Academy in California about 3 weeks, a month ago or so. I don't know, it all blends together. And we, of course, covered this. If you follow Chalene, you know she talks about having a freemium. And I'm going to go through all of this to really give you an insight of why it's so critical and important, but also how to do it. But after coming off of that, and Amanda asked me to do this, I was like, perfect opportunity, because I think this should be one of the cornerstone foundations that a new coach does immediately. So for instance, my vote of what does a brand new coach do as soon as they get started, not run off and start telling people to join this business, not that right away. You need to have some short little quick wins, and one of them is to run a challenge group. So a 5-day clean eating challenge group is super simple because you don't require people to buy anything. You just get in the habit of motivating people, learning how to lead people, and that's it. You just want to create a positive environment. But more importantly, you want to get before and after pictures. So that's the key. Because as a new coach, how can you claim someone should work with you as a success if you don't have proof working with you works? And you know that by everything Beachbody does, is everything's a testimonial. That's why those infomercials work, because testimonials work. People don't believe companies anymore, they believe the testimonials. So as a new coach, it's critical for you to get a before and after picture from someone that's worked with you for success. How do you know what to do in that 5-day challenge? Well, first of all, check with your coach, but additionally, just use one of the meal plans from T25. Like that's a 5-day, what do they call it? 5-day fast, burn your fat off or something?
Quick start.
Quick start, that's it. So that's it, use that meal plan to give to them. And the way I do it is I get as many people in, and honestly, who cares if they're a coach, right? Because if a coach says, can I do your 5-day eating plan? Sure, because if their body is a before and after body, I don't care that they're a coach, I'm just using their pictures to promote my business after. So don't worry about coaches being a part of your 5-day, because you just want pictures. Get as many people as possible in, and then I actually don't give the meal plan all up front, even though it's a public meal plan, right? They don't know that. I only give them 1 day at a time. Because doesn't everybody want that magical meal plan? Like the secret meal plan to make me lose weight. That's what everybody wants. It's like it's really no secret. They're all out there in the programs. But if you withhold the meal plans 1 day at a time, they'll stay in the group and they'll stay accountable. And what I actually do is I tell them that up front, is every day you gotta check in at the end of the day on this post. And if you don't by the next day noon, you're kicked out. So they're gonna get kicked out of the group and not get the rest of the meal plan. So that by Saturday morning, make sure they take their pictures before the day goes on, and then you get pictures. Because in 5 days, think about your own self. Can you de-bloat? Can you de-muffin a little bit? You totally can. And obviously we know the way you position yourself is always a trick. That's the truth of it all. Okay. I mean, for instance, Caleb and I just took a picture back there, and I was like, that was a horrible picture, let's switch sides and do it again, because I need to control how the pictures look. That's your control. All right, so what we're gonna do is go through this, because this is so important, and I'm gonna give you my mistakes that I actually made when I was first starting. I relied on 2 points to build my business initially. The first one was memory. How many of you do that? You just remember everything. I've got like a photographic memory, and I'm very visual. I remember exactly, like you go in your office and you know it was under that huge pile of papers right there, but your kids moved it. Now you don't know where it is because you visualize it. Are you a visual person? Yeah, visual. So I would rely on my memory, remembering where I had that conversation with someone. So I'm visualizing the Facebook email system. You know, you're visualizing where everything is, and you're just trying to remember who you're working with to be able to move them into either a challenge group or into coaching. All right, the other thing that I would rely on was trust. I trusted they'd get back to me. I trusted that people would just get back to me because they really wanted to move forward. But how about your own self? I always think about this with a follow-up. When you go, say for instance you're looking for a car, and you come up to the car salesman, and that person is very aggressive, they want to sell you the car, and then you leave, and that person then never calls you back. Like, you ask them a question, they never call you back. Even like landscapers or hair salons, whoever. You want a service, they're gonna provide it for you, but then they never follow back with you. How does that make you feel? I'm kinda pissed. Like, I'm not gonna give you my business if you don't even care to remember me and follow back with me. I'm gonna give it to somebody else. Why are you so scared to follow up with people? You're letting the business go to other people. So you gotta get rid of memory and trust. So I lost a lot of business because I relied on those things. Not until you have control over building your own list is the most important part. Now, I'm not saying handwrite your list of people you're gonna talk to. I'm talking about capturing people's content and information. This is super simple, and every one of you guys needs to do this right following from here. We're gonna actually work on that a little bit. So, the thing, I can't see over there, so I'm gonna have to, I didn't memorize this. Do you find it's hard communicating with your followers without posting status updates or running an ad? Think of these questions for yourself. Do you spend a lot of time online liking, commenting, replying to people? Do you struggle to build a following? Do you not have ownership of your contact's info? So when I run my 30-day business boot camps, and I have the people that are training with me, I do these every quarter for my organization, I select 50 people, and one of the assignments is for them to tell me how big their list is. This is the physical list, where they're writing it down. And then they proceed to put in their homework. Well, I've got 2,000 followers on Facebook, and then I've got 300 on Instagram. Are those your list? Do you have control over those people? What if Mark said, screw you, I'm taking this down? Do you have a way to contact those 2,000 people on Facebook? They're not yours. You don't own it. You need to own the list. Constantly looking to fill your challenge groups? Are you constantly looking to fill your challenge groups? Are you searching for new prospects for coaching? Well, if that is the case, here is a big other Mac Daddy list of problems. So here's the problems. Do you have problems keeping track of all your conversations? So some of them. In Facebook email is a pain in the butt, because if you have a like page, you've got a like mail page messaging center, and then profile page, you've got another email messaging center, and getting to both of them is so, like, oh, weird. Am I the only one? Okay. Because you gotta go to a different place, and you gotta make sure your page is in one accurate place if you're on your computer. Then the other side is commenting and posting. So if you're constantly having someone reply in your post on your page saying, I want to do work with you, you have to constantly go back to those posts and be like, who said they wanted to work with me? So you're constantly feverishly going through these posts and these emails, searching for the people that you were having conversations with. Or maybe they tweet you and they send you a private DM. Or maybe you're researching all your YouTube comments from the videos you put up and you're trying to get in touch with that person, sending them a YouTube email, which a lot of people don't know how to respond to. The other thing, email inbox. If you have a lot of people sending you email, I get a ton of junk email that you have to constantly keep sifting through all your email inbox. What about Beachbody's community email system? Oh my gosh, I brought up a picture of this just to make you guys feel this pain of Beachbody's email system. It gets really painful. What about the text you all get? Instagram DMs, blog comments, phone messages. Are you constantly, all day long, going through all of them, trying to refine the people you were talking to over and again to move them into something? Because if you are, you can still do that, but I want to make sure that you are at least building a list that's going to make your business grow faster. So here is an example of how the typical entrepreneur leads someone to the point that they want them to be. So you introduce something to them on point A, but then you've made it so difficult and hard for them to work with you because you're never sending them directly anywhere. That's why you want to send them from point A to B. You want to make sure that when you are talking with someone that they want to stay with you in the journey, and you don't want to make it confusing. Because if you send me something and I have to read and try to figure something out for more than 7 seconds, I'm gone. I am like a dog with shiny things. Like, I'm gone. That's typical. The attention span is very short for people, and if they have to try to figure out something, they're moving on. And if you can't make it super simple pie for them, they're moving on. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And this, is how you're going to feel. You're constantly on this hamster wheel of trying to figure out, where are your leads? Where's your contacts? Where was the last point of contact with this one person when they said they wanted to do a challenge group with me? If you're constantly feeling this struggle of on this wheel, then we gotta make some changes. And the other side of it all is, are you putting all your eggs in social media's baskets? Because if you are relying on social media and all your contacts and all your comments and all your friends that follow you to be what builds your business right now and for the future, then guess what? You're screwed. Because you don't own that. You don't own those lists. They could be gone tomorrow. Were any of you ever banned from Facebook from doing any activity? Posting in groups, posting videos, posting pictures. They ban you because they can. And you have no control. Like, you can email, message them, but has anyone ever gotten a reply? No. I was banned in December, alongside with a lot of Beachbody coaches and a lot of other entrepreneurs in different companies for 3 weeks from posting in groups. So I couldn't communicate with my team. I was in the middle of running a challenge group. I couldn't do anything. And if you are housing all your team training in a Facebook group, you're screwed. You can't. We're not going to be talking about that today, but this is the thing. You gotta have more control over your leads and your content. And so for 3 weeks, I know Jimmy Hayes Nelson was another person that was locked out. And after trying to research and figure out what it was, like, I wasn't promoting on my profile page, because they don't want you to run your business on your profile page. I keep my profile page pretty much dead. I don't go there. What was I doing? I didn't put up anything in multiple groups. I wasn't spamming. I wasn't mass adding people in groups. I didn't do that like those eyelash people. Or the Jamberries or whatever, those nail things. Seriously, I don't know how many times I'm like, what's this again? So, and by the way, what I always do is when I notice I'm added in a group, I always promote my stuff. I go there and I put a picture and I say, hey, if you guys, since you added me in here, I guess I'll promote my next challenge group for you. So. I'm not always nice, just so you know. Okay. So you've got to think about that, is you have to have more control, because if you're putting all that in there, you're going to lose it. Oh, and by the way, what I think I ruled it out to be, well, why we all got banned, was because being an admin to too many groups. So if you're an admin to too many groups, that's a red flag for Facebook for some reason or another. That's at least what I ruled it all out to be. So, what's this? Does this bring up a nightmare for anybody right here? This is Beachbody's emailing system. Now, this is a train wreck because I don't always see it, and these messages don't go to my inbox. So if I've got 6 business centers that I'm managing. So I have to log in, log out, log in, log out, log in, log out, to go into all of these, and I'm not accepting buddy requests. I can't stand that notification up there. The other side is I don't always see these notifications. So I'm constantly getting people that will message me in there, and I have no idea, because this is just a messy system. It's very messy. First of all, you don't know if that person that's messaging you is connected to another coach, because they could just message you. And I don't want to ever steal somebody else's coach if they're working with someone else. So this person that last right there, when I went in today to get the screenshot, I was like, oh, I didn't know she messaged me in here today saying she signed up as a coach. I didn't know. Because I don't normally go to all of my business centers' inboxes, because you have to manually go there. Here's the other side of it all. So the customer list from Beachbody, do you think you own that list? No, you don't. Because you can't export that legally. Legally, if you export that list and you've got the email addresses, you're legally not able to bulk email people from your email messaging system, because that person never opted in to what you're adding them to bulk mail them. That's why you have to only bulk message them from Beachbody's emailing system within our Coach Online office. And now, how effective is it? Does your email always get delivered, or does it pretty much 95, 99% of the time go to their junk mail? Always goes to their junk mail. So they're not getting your messages either. And then don't you just love that? Just love it. I have these on multiple coaches of mine. I'm like, can you just get this, I'm your coach. Like, they don't even know how that came on their thing. They're like, I didn't select it, I don't know why. All of a sudden, you're having do not contacts on your own coaches and your customers. And you can't change that. They would have to contact Beachbody to change that themselves. As well as the restricted. I still don't understand why it says restricted. I thought that was lifted. Crazy, right? How about that one down there? If you can even read it, you can only run reports of 1,000 customers at a time. 1,000. So I know 1,000 of you might be like, oh, I don't even have that right now. Oh, you will. You will. You stay in this long enough, you will. You're gonna get to this point. So if you have no control over really connecting with these customers, these are not yours. These are not yours. Beachbody owns them. So that's what we have to really try to build for ourselves. These are the 3 worst things in life. That spinning wheel drives me bonkers. And these are the things that really just takes us away from doing what we want to do. Facebook, please, I'm trying to work. Chat me, chat me. I get caught up into that so much. But we're constantly being distracted. That's on our mind all the time. And that's how we're feeling, like this hamster is, we're constantly trying to figure out where are the people, and I don't want to miss a contact. I don't want to miss someone saying they want to get size. Right? You don't want to miss it. And this is typically what's starting to happen. A lot of relationships are actually getting in trouble because of this. Because the spouse is obsessively building their Beachbody business all the time. You don't even have communication when you're standing next to the person in a circle or even at dinner. Like, this is typical now. And it's not wrong, because this is the way things are. We're a technology in motion. We're gonna be online, that's just the way it's gonna be. But when you're building your business, if your mind is obsessively wrapped, if you cannot not be without your phone, then you have a problem in your systems. Your systems are the critical point for your success. And this is very typical. I know this is like on my phone, but we're constantly feeling like, oh my gosh, I gotta check these messages because that could be a sale for a challenge bag, or oh my gosh, it could be a coach, and I'm constantly just needing to be on this phone with me. I cannot let it go, like for real. Are you feeling that? I don't think this is gonna work. I have my jerry-rig system up. If you guys can help me with this, it would be so awesome. All right, so tell me if you could do it worked. What does it make you feel? Like you constantly feel like, what? I gotta go check that. Do you like my jerry-rig system? Like, that was the only way I had to do it. I spent like all morning trying to find that sound to put on this PowerPoint. It just wasn't there. I could put a car sound, a little, like it was not there. I'm like, PowerPoint! We just needed a ding! There was none, so that was my way. All right, so we are owned by Facebook and we feel like a dog while we're running it. So we gotta try to change things. Because Facebook is obviously the #1 social platform out there, but we don't have a choice on whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it. And really, you gotta own it. That's just the thing. You've seen that before. But here's basic breakdown, and these jokes are out there all over the place. I thought coffee was appropriate. So Facebook is where you say I like coffee. Twitter, I'm drinking #coffee. Google+, I'm a Google employee who drinks coffee, because only Google employees are on Google+, kidding. LinkedIn, I'm good at drinking coffee. Pinterest, here is a collection of pictures and recipes of my coffee drinks. On YouTube, watch me as I drink my coffee. What's that next one? I don't even know what it is.
Foursquare.
Oh, Foursquare, sorry. Here is where I drink coffee. Oh yeah, I came here a lot, and I'm the mayor. And then Instagram, here's a vintage picture of me drinking coffee. That's where we stand with our social media. We want to take our life back. We don't want to constantly be on that wheel. The thing is with your social media wall, your Facebook, your YouTube, you don't want to sell. So if you're posting messages up there saying, hey, size is out. If you want to get it from me. Or I just got back from Summit, did size. Look at this picture of me doing size in a crowded street. Get it from me. If you're selling on social media, you're doing it wrong. So I know a lot of people are like, I know I'm not supposed to sell, but everybody's doing it, so I better do it too. Well, they're doing it wrong. So just because you see other people doing it, don't believe that their business is amazing. Because a lot of people can fake a lot of things, and that's one of them. So if you are directly selling on your Facebook wall, you're doing it wrong. Where do you sell? You sell to your list. So that's when you send those email messages out to people, letting them know what you have now available, that you're running a challenge group with a new release size. So you don't promote on your Facebook wall or your YouTube or Twitter or wherever that you are selling, because that is annoying to people. It's white noise to people. You could, of course, position it in a different way, and I'm not saying never. You can every so often, of course, But if you're doing it very frequently, you're driving people away from you. They're hiding your stuff. So the only way that you can really effectively market to the people that you want to market is to your list. And who are these people on the list? These are people that want you to send them stuff because they opted in. You were offering something and they said, yes, sign me up. And now you've got their information, and now you have the right to email them and let them know what you are running, what you're doing. That's where you promote. You do not heavily promote on social media, because that's only going to make your following go down and you're going to be struggling. So we're going to be focusing on how building an email list is going to really help your business. And this is actually going to be a task that I'm going to leave you to do, and that after we're done with today, you're going to get a gift if you do it. So here we're going to go through the basic process of leads to prospects to customers. So we need to first, of course, capture those leads. And this honestly should be the very first steps of every coach starting. Get this set up right away. As soon as you have that new coach set up, have them do this right away. Don't overthink it. We're going to quick go through a brainstorm so you can figure out what you're going to do. But what you want to do is make sure that people are signing up with you because they want to work with you. They want to stay connected with you. So if your new coach starts building their list right from the beginning, and then they keep offering value to that person, their list, they're going to keep building their list and have this many more people to talk to when size comes out and they are running a challenge group for it, rather than putting it up on social media and hoping someone responds to it. Because 340,000 other coaches probably put it up on their Facebook wall too, right? So, and the person who pays the most money and runs the best Facebook ads probably wins, right? That's the truth. So how can a new coach win? This way. So baby steps, all new coaches really should do this. So basically your goal is to create a following of people. So when I got started as a coach, how was I able to sign up 50 plus people right away? Day one, I had 50 plus paper applications I submitted. How was I able to do that? It was because I had a list of all the years of training instructors in the gyms, of all the group fitness directors, professionals that I've worked with for years. I had a list. So when I was able to reach out to them to let them know what I was doing, I knew that that person had a higher chance of doing it because they were with me and I was communicating with them all along. So your lists are people who like you, want your stuff, and want to stay in your world. And if they don't, they'll get out. But the more times you find more people who want to be in your car, then that's where you're going to be able to have an opportunity to promote to those people. So the first thing, that's our goal. But first thing we have to do is create a free gift. So again, if you follow Chalene Johnson or you follow Brendon Burchard, they constantly teach the aspect of giving away something free to people that people want. And we're going to have this assignment in a moment, and I'm going to ban you from giving away one thing. And I'll say it in a second. You then, secondly, need to have an email management system. Now, if you're a brand new coach, you don't have much money. I'm going to show you how to just do it free in the beginning. That's it. Super simple. Requires a little bit more labor on your part, but we just wanted to get going. An autoresponder. An autoresponder is where a system, say for instance I use Aweber, is when someone signs up for whatever I'm offering, then Aweber automatically sends off the message to them. I don't need to manually do that. But then in Aweber, I can set up multiple emails after to go out to that person 1 week later. A month later, and here's the trick. When you send those messages out, the second email or the third email, make it sound like it's actually talking to that person. Talk casual. I once had a person send me a Facebook message and she goes, I just want to let you know that your message that you sent out, you've got a lot of typos in it and your grammar's not good. I can totally proofread and write for you if you want me to work for you. And I was like, but that's me. I'm horrible at grammar and I'm horrible and I type fast. So no, that's me. That's how I talk. So I'm fine with that. I mean, depending, of course, on selling something, I need it to be proofread. But if it's something for free, then just make it sound like you. So one of the key tricks, and I've noticed a lot of open rates, is when your message, your subject line doesn't sound salesy, it sounds like you're saying something to your sister or your friend. So for instance, one of mine is, did you get it? Because if a lot of people say, oh, did I get what? They'll open it. And then when I open it, I make it sound very casual. So like my third email following up with someone who said that they wanted to do a challenge group with me, but then they still haven't spoken with me yet about it. One of my third ones might be like, hey, just wanted to check in and see if you're confused about the meal plan and basic stuff. And I might put something simple like, I'm super busy this week, the kids got so many activities going on, because that's probably the truth, right? I'm always busy. So make it sound like it's just you really talking directly to them, and people don't know that actually AWeber's sending that out 7 days later. I didn't. So that is what an autoresponder is. And then if you do those things, you have a list. So where we're gonna go is we're gonna brainstorm right now, so hopefully you got your note taking out, because I'm gonna give you some ideas of how can you figure out what you're going to offer. So when I'm saying what you're going to offer, means, have you seen people's Facebook pages and say their cover banner is saying, I'll give you this if you sign up. For instance, I'll give away a meal plan. So I have a meal plan, and then I've got online workouts that they have access to. Being an instructor, that was easy for me to do. So I'll give that away for free. Or have you ever seen Melissa Butcher's The 8-Hour Abs? It was an ebook. So Melissa gave away an ebook on the 8-Hour Abs diet. And then you've probably gotten a lot of those, right? Probably you've signed up for a lot of people's, and now you consistently get their emails. That's what this is. So you can't just say, sign up if you want to stay connected. Why? People value their email. Think about this. When you are on a website and it says, enter your email here and I'll send you that, do you think about that like for a second? Or are you just like, yeah, sure, here's my email? The problem is we're giving our emails so quickly that now we're getting so much spam. They're selling your emails and you're getting a ton of spam. So I always give a junk email that I have. It's the one I have connected to Facebook. TurboChristine@yahoo.com. I don't use that as an email, but that's the junk one. And then if I'm signing up for something where I want to get something, I will put that one in. I'll go to the junk email and get it, and I don't care if that one's full of spam, because I don't ever check that. I only go get what I need out of that. That's personally what I do, because I don't want to put my real one in, unless it's someone I really want to make sure I stay connected to. That's it. So that's what you want to think about, is you got to give away something of value. Now, we're all Beachbody coaches, and guess what the number one free value is that coaches give away? I said it out loud.
Meal plan.
Meal plan. Another meal plan. If you're not a professional in fitness, a nutritionist, or have that knowledge to be able to help someone in that, you shouldn't be offering that, first of all. But let's take this challenge and not choose that as your free offer. Okay, so everyone on board of not giving away a meal plan as your free value?
Yes.
Okay, you're like, but it's safe. I can just take the one from T25. No, let's go through some brainstorming and figure out exactly what you can do. All right, so here's some ideas of figuring out what can you offer. What about you can you offer? What's the number one problem that you like helping people solve? So while I'm saying these out loud, please just jot down the first thing that comes in your mind so that you can start getting some ideas, because this is going to narrow down what you're going to actually get for your giveaway. Now, if you, while we're going through these, if all of a sudden a great one pops up, make sure you write it off to the side right away. So when we were doing this exercise at Marketing Impact Academy, I had a whole other sheet of multiple freemiums that I was going to give away as the free gift, because new ideas kept coming up as we were going through these. So don't just try to pigeonhole yourself into one. Let's try to find multiples so that you can capture different types of people. So here's another question. What have you struggled with in the past? Think of something personal to yourself. And even if you think you're the only one, you're not. You're not the only one. That new coach that showed up, that just signed up with me, she contacted me and she said, I am really overweight and I really want to be a coach, but who's going to want to follow me? No one's going to want to watch me work out and try to lose this weight. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're in the best position right now to draw a crowd and keep yourself accountable to make that change in your life. So you have something in the past that is going to be able to connect with someone. List things you know inside and out. So think about what you know inside and out. You don't even have to think about it anymore. This one's actually one of the best questions if you want to start it and go back to it, because there's a lot in your life that you figured out how to do, but you just do now without even thinking. You do without even thinking. It's just normal. Riding a bike. Well, does everybody know how to ride a bike? No, it's just normal for you. Like, everybody should know how to ride a bike. No, how do you? So there's always a process of how you figured out how to do something. You just now do it. You don't even think about it anymore. Your field of expertise or special training. So if you have an education or your career, or you've taken a lot of training, and there's some skill sets in there that you can offer, that's something that you might want to take advantage of. So for instance, there's some coaches out there that I spoke with who, they're an accountant, and she's a fitness person as well, and she was focusing on the whole meal plan world of offering. And I said, but you're an accountant. You're basically, if you just put together like the top 10 tips that you should know to write off at tax time, people would probably want something like that. That's what you know, and you don't think that that can relate, but it totally can. So those are the areas that are going to really start to give you some ideas of what to offer. What are you really good at? Like, you're just so good at it, and just, I don't know, it's always natural. My sister, she is a mom of 5 boys, and she is really good at fixing things. So we grew up really poor. My dad buys those, you know, those houses like out in the ghetto that are broken down, and the bad people move in, and then they tear the house apart, and they don't pay the rent, and then they move out. Well, that's what we grew up doing. So when we were in like 5, 6, 7 years old, we used to go to these ghetto houses at night and have to fix drywall and paint and do all of that stuff to get the house back up again for the next crappy person to move in. That's what we did. My sister has learned, taken all those skills, and she is amazing at fixing things around her house. She barely likes to hire someone. She put in her own pavers of her sidewalk. Like, who does that stuff? She knows how to do a lot of things. I'm like, you should just take videos of this stuff. Repairing the toilet paper hole in the wall. You know how sometimes that thing falls out because the screws loosen up? Like, she just repairs it. I said, just document that stuff and put it out. You're like the DIY girl. That's it. She still hasn't done it, by the way. She don't listen to me, so you know. People, and I am the youngest, people ask you over and over and over for this. What are you constantly getting asked for? Constantly getting asked for help with this. Or another idea. What do people want to learn from you? This one, don't focus so much on though, because we think people want to learn this from us when it's not always the case. So to tell you the truth, I was taking a point in my career where on Facebook I was putting up a lot of business tips on my Facebook wall. People don't want to learn that from me. They don't. What do they want to learn from me, or why do they want to follow me? Fitness stuff. So if I can draw them in for my fitness stuff, my little mini workout videos, then I at least can have them in my world, and it's sharing out to their world, and I'm getting other new people that don't know me seeing my stuff. So that when I do have them sign up on one of my forums, I now have a list, and now when I'm marketing something, I can now market to them. So be careful about that one. What have you struggled with that you see so many others struggling with today? Like, you constantly think, gosh, I did this already. Why did they just not listen? Well, why don't you put something together that will break it down for them? That's all these free gifts are. Would you prefer, so raise your hand, would you prefer that someone put together a top 10 list? If you did these, you would make $1,000 in a week. Would you prefer someone does that, puts it together, and just gives it to you? Or would you prefer someone says, hey, these are the top 10. You can go and Google the ideas just like I did. Which one would you do? Raise your hand if you would just get that top 10 list from that person. Okay, so then half of the crowd wants to go Google forever. Okay, the majority wants just the shortcut. I got through English in high school by reading Cliff Notes. I didn't read a book at all. There was one book, The Great Gatsby. That was the only one I read. The Scarlet Letter bored me. All of that bored me. I got through everything Cliff Notes. I got through college by studying the previous year's tests. I just don't want to read that much like that. Different, okay? So think about what you can boil down for people. Challenge overcoming that others still struggle with. What surprises you that others don't know how to do? And what areas in your life have you created a system or a way of doing things? It could be super simple as how you do laundry so that it gets done the fastest, or how you organize your food pantry, or how do you put together meals so fast for 7 days. What do you do that's a system that other people don't know how to do, but you just do without thinking, and it's just a system. This is the way our household runs. This is just how we do things. So you can take a picture of that, but I'll also be sending this to you. So here's something of how you want to deliver the content. How you get it out to people could be in multiple ways. Don't overcomplicate this. So your goal, because you all agreed, you so loudly told me, yes, I'm gonna do it. Man, you guys are so loud when I asked you for that one. But don't overthink it. Keep it super simple. Me, I'm such a creative that I have the problem of too many projects on the table because I keep creatively thinking of new ones or new ways to do it. And for me, I always want to provide a video for people for it. So that's why I've got all these projects that I'm like, yes, I want to get this as a video, but the videos don't get made because this girl barely gets ready, ever. I'm always in my hair in a bun and sweat clothes or whatever. So I'm like thinking today while I was getting ready, I'm like, I probably should film videos today because I'm ready. So don't overcomplicate it. Your first one, keep it super simple. Just to give you an idea of some of the more popular ones that people really do, and this is not me just saying it, this has been studied, is the top tips, 5 steps to, cheat sheets. Those terms are what people love. Again, they don't want to do the work. It's the same thing as your new coach or an old coach coming to you and saying, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. When you're like, it's all right there, right? But just tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's society. We don't want to think. We just want immediate gratification and just to follow these steps right away. So, these are some ideas of how you can deliver it. So this is what you want to do. The simplest, easiest way without you spending any money is just go to Google. So your first step, what was the first step? We've got the goal that we want to build a list of people who want us to stay connected to them. The second step is we've got to decide what we're going to offer and give away to them. Okay, so that's critical point number 2. Now, once you've got that offer, now you can go set up a sign-up form. So if you have like Aweber or other sites that allow you to build what's called an opt-in page, or otherwise known as a squeeze page, then go ahead and use those. But if you don't want to spend any money and you don't have those yet, just use Google. You just now have to manually push out the content to the people that are signing up. So just remember that. So you're going to have to schedule checking the document to make sure that someone signed up, you can mail them out what they want. So this is what you do. You just go to Google, drive.google.com, and you click up in the top button that says new, and it pulls down this menu, and it says create the Google form. That's their first step on how to do it. And then this is what comes up. So this is how you create the form, and it's basically plug and play. Here's a mistake that I made that I totally screwed up on when I first started doing this, is I started to put in the questions of what I wanted them to put in, and then I sent the form and I started getting a ton of people saying, yes, I'm interested, I really want this, and I totally forgot to tell them to put their name and their email. So first thing, name, second field, email, then any other question that you want. So basically create this however you want. You can keep it super simple, or if you want to creatively make it pretty, you've got those options to change the theme. But just be simple, simple, simple right now, because your goal is just get something up. And then, for instance, here's one that I did when Pio came out, is kept it super simple. All I'm asking them for is their name and their email. Be careful about asking for their phone number, because a lot of people don't like to give out their phone number. So if they come to that field, even if you don't make it required, say it's an option, they see it and they move away. So that's been tested as well. So unless you really need their phone number, then just keep your fields as simple as possible. And then I put that mark there where it says, are you a Beachbody coach? Why? Because am I going to be selling challenge pad? I'm tired of doing that back and forth email thing with someone trying to dive into, well, what do you want to achieve with your goals? And then what workouts do you love? Oh, and then what do you do on the weekend? Like this back and forth email that you should be having with your customers. And then to find out, well, I'm a coach. Well, you can't be my challenge group and buy something from me then. So ask it right up front. Who cares if it scares coaches away? Because you know what? Coaches will still fill this out. They still do. And I just don't email them. I see it in there. Are you a coach? Yes. Delete. Because I don't need to be selling to a coach. So just make sure you keep your fields super simple. And then, once you have your form, you're going to have an additional document in your Google Drive now, and that the one that says accepting applications is my sign-up form. And then right below it, you're going to have a duplicate, and that's the responses. This is just an Excel document. And then when you have someone that signed up for it, you just click on the responses, you get their email, and you manually have to email them out what you said you were going to give them. So say, for instance, you had an offer that you were giving someone your top 10 tips to ride a bike. And they signed up for it. You now need to go to the responses every so often, so make sure that you check this regularly, and get their email, send it manually, and attach whatever you said you were going to give them. So just making sure that you do that. But this is just a quick, easy, free way to do it. And again, don't do this. So don't sign up for my newsletter if you want to stay connected. Or sign up if you want to be a part of this fun community. Whatever. No, people don't want to be a part of that. They value their emails now. So don't have people just sign up for a newsletter. You want to always give away value. And I'm going to show you some other examples that are really great. This one is one that I just used quick. This one I created in Aweber though. And this was just to hurry up and get people to want to do sides with me. That was it. Keep them super simple and clean. I'm going to show you an example of that one. Here's Mari Smith. Mari Smith is amazing at capturing people's content information. How many of you have ever gone on any of her training webinars? That's it? Oh my gosh, start following her. She was hired by Facebook. Do you guys know that? She was hired by Facebook to do training for people on Facebook because she was promoting Facebook so much and she knows it so well that they recognize that, of course, and she is known as the queen of Facebook. I actually brought her to Texas a couple of years ago when she spoke at my Platinum Edge conference, and she taught so many great little details. It's just a matter of making sure you follow the right people. But see how simple her sign-up form is? It's clean, it's bright, and that's what you want to make sure is that you're not confusing people with too much content. So yeah, I know videos sometimes can go here, and not unless it's super necessary. The more you can distract someone, the more you're not going to get their email. Keep it super simple. So the more you distract someone with videos and long descriptive text, or searching for buttons of where do I go, they're gone. So keep it super simple. Here's Amy Porterfield. Again, if you don't follow her. She runs a podcast. And she is amazing, and she always gives out the cheat sheet at the end of her podcast. So for instance, every time she interviews someone and they're teaching some amazing stuff, I think it was her, I can't remember exactly. Yeah, it was on Amy. She just interviewed a person who teaches you how to perfect your one-liner bios, your abouts, as well as your big stories with a Mad Libs plug and play. This person's name is Melissa someone. But at the end of the podcast, she always goes, if you want to get Melissa's Mad Libs fill in the blank to fill out your bio, just go here and get it. So everyone's putting in their email because they want to get that. So keep them super simple. Here's Brendan Burchard's, super simple. Super clean and simple. And this is Marie Forleo. So do you see how bright and clean, and I'm not distracted. I know where to go, and she's telling me exactly what I'm going to get. Just put my stuff in, and I will get it. But honestly, it's really critical, important that you get something up. Where do you put it? Put it in your cover banner of your Facebook, of your YouTube, of your Google+, wherever you are, and make sure that you put it up there. And then your posts, your social media posts, like on Facebook, that's where you can create a post. If you're running ads, That's the ads. Start paying attention to those sponsored ads that you see coming out in your feed. And a good suggestion is take a screenshot of that person that you liked. So whomever that you saw, you're like, oh yeah, I like that one. Take it. I'm constantly doing that because I want to replicate what I was attracted to so that I can get other people like me. Basically, your free gift is what you can offer someone that used to be you. You have achieved and moved past so much in your life, and you can now just quickly help someone. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so once we get our freemium up there, how do you actually go about then utilizing it then for your Beachbody business?
Okay, so good question. So she asked, how, when you get your freemium up, so for instance on your Facebook wall you said, hey, just go here if you want to get my top 10 tips, and now you're starting to build a list, and it doesn't always just have to be one freemium. I do it for everything. So for instance, if I put up a little mini workout video and I do like all these exercises, people just still always want me to tell them how many reps and how many sets, or how do I do X, Y, and Z. I'll just create a quick little cheat sheet and I say, if you want the cheat sheet of the breakdown of this, just go fill out this form. So I just collect emails any way possible. So now that you've got a list, when you do have something to offer, that's who you email. So for instance, Size just came out, the performance supplements just came out, or something on demand. You now want to send them a message saying, hey, this new dance workout came out. If you like to move to music and you get bored with your workouts really quick, this one is super simple and easy, and I'm running a group helping people through it starting in August. So if you want me to put you on the list, send me back a message. So you're basically emailing your list what you're gonna do. So rather than direct hard selling, you're offering a service and you're helping people and you're gonna help them through that workout. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, so then you don't have an autoresponder then for that message, then you're actually replying individually then to those.
If you're doing it by a site like Google, where you have to manually send a message, but for instance, if you do have a site like Aweber, which you have to pay for, then in there you can set up a whole autoresponder, so basically emails that will follow every so many days. So for instance, I still get Melissa McAllister's emails that she sends me out about eating and stuff. I don't read them because I know it's Melissa's autoresponder. I know she's not private messaging, but I still get them because I signed up for her thing. So even if you have someone that signed up to get your top 10 tips for that, they're in that list, but now your following messages can be still tips. So for instance, one of the second emails that I'll send someone that got my free meal plan and my workouts is, my second email is 15 myths debunked about working out or whatever it was. So I'm just sending them information so that I'm in their world, constantly being seen by them so that when they're ready, they'll come. Or then when I have something to offer, they'll come. So you're not always selling in those autoresponders, you're offering value, offering value, offering value. So if you haven't read the book by Gary Vaynerchuk, Jab, 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 Right Hook, you're offering value. So you're offering value, value, value. Here's my sale. Does it make sense? Okay, yes, Natalie.
How often do you send information?
It depends. So how often do you send information? It's really relative to what you're offering in your free gift. Now, ultimately,
But
if
after
you...
that, like after you've done the free gift, then like if they've done, like you've done all of your drips,
Yep.
how often do you keep in touch with them after that?
So that's completely up to you in terms of how often you want to offer value. So what she's asking is this can be really beefy. So for instance, if you follow Chalene Johnson's Marketing Impact Academy, she teaches about this system of moving someone in the car ride with you, where ultimately the end goal is that they're doing what you really want them to do. So is that you really want them to be a coach with you, or you really want them to be in a challenge group with you. So all these emails that you send to them every 3 days or 1 week are basically information leading them into the mindset that when you do pitch it at the end, they need that. So this is driving them to really want that because it made sense along the way, they still love you. So after that, so say for instance, okay, I talked to them 5 emails in the past 3 weeks. How often do I stay in touch with them? As much as you want, but not to an annoying point. So for instance, I don't read a lot of Chalene's emails anymore because I know that they're all auto, and also because I personally know what she has going on. So you decide maybe once every 2 weeks or once every month or so. It depends on what content you want to give out. But don't let that consume you so much that that's where you're spending all your time.